Hi there, Internet. My name is Scott, and I'm here today to talk about the Uniting Australia Party. I've been reviewing all of the political parties in Australia. We have 54 of them, and we also have a federal election which happens next week. Um, and a lot of the parties don't get any sort of media coverage, and a lot of people have never heard of them. So here's a little bit of information about the Uniting Australia Party. Okay, now they're a party that is basically a small conservative party from Queensland. Their founder is a man called John Smith, and he's an electrical engineer up there. The party has very little web presence. They don't have a Wikipedia page. They have a website that is still under construction, and they've had very little media coverage. There was a brief exception to that. Clive Palmer, who is one of the richest men in Australia, and he runs a political party called Palmer United Australia, or Palmer United Party. And anyway, when he was forming that party recently, he wanted to use the name Uniting Australia, or Uniting Australia Party. Obviously, the party already existed. Uniting Australia was already an entity, and they weren't willing to give up their name. And so Clive Palmer pushed for a while to use that name, but Uniting Party rightly stood their ground, and Palmer United adopted a different name. Very few journalists at the time stopped to find out what Uniting Party were about. They often fell short. I've read very few articles that indicated people actually having a vested interest in finding out what makes Uniting Australia tick. So let's look at some of their ideas. So they're a party that is basically conservative in nature. They are very pro-business, and they want to. They're anti-regulation in business and business industry. So they're against, I guess, government red tape and against, regulations and rules that impede business. The party is for stronger penalties on crime, and they want to remove any lifelong perks of prime ministers and members of parliament. So when people in these roles retire, they have a certain number of rights currently. We've seen that. We've seen that suggested from a number of parties from all different sides of the political spectrum. So perhaps in the future, maybe it's something that can be bipartisan, and maybe there will be some changes that happen in Parliament in regards to that. Anyway, more on some of the other ideals of Uniting Australia. So they want to stop selling farms to non-national bodies. They're against the carbon tax, but they do want more investment in gas and LPG. They want rebates for LPG as well. And they support renewable energies, including hydrogen. I haven't seen too many parties mention hydrogen specifically. In regards to asylum seekers, they want to decrease incentives for illegal Australians, but, quote, "we welcome all new Australians who cherish the Australian way of life," end quote. So that's I guess a fairly safe conservative clause in regards to asylum seekers. It could be interpreted in a number of ways, so I'll leave that for you to decide. If you want to find out more, you can take a look at the party website. You'll see that in the bottom of this video in the description. And if you liked it, feel free to click on like, or if you want to share it, click share. And I'll see you for my next party review soon. Thank you.